My God, Zelva is in the chat on Twitter. What a throwback. How's it going, Mr. Zelva? Futoshi. Getting started a few minutes late. This will serve as your audio test. I sound good. I sound crisp, clear on this near 80-degree day. Hot. It is hot. It is heating up in altcoin land as well. We'll talk about that. Just fix some windows and we'll get started. Does a Discord exist? That's a tough question. I mean, it exists. It exists. Try to keep it on the down low, you know? We don't want just anybody in the Discord. We have a high standard. What's up, Karen? All right, where am I? Trying to get all my screens figured out here. Sorry. Get rid of all that. Get rid of that. We want that, and we want this. Get rid of that. Okay. We're almost home free. If you want me to look at anything on stream, just let me know. Take a look at the usual suspects here. We are hodling. We are hodling along. All good, market's good. Bitcoin is world reserve currency. I mean, we're well on our way. We're well on our way. Things look good. Things look very good. I was just looking at Doge. We got ETFs seeing some significant inflows, although that slowed down this week. We have crypto funding still negative, pushing more negative. We've got TradFi BTC funding still positive. Very odd there. So crypto shorters getting wrecked on chain. Yeah, retail's just not here yet. But we look good. We look really, really good. VKTX. Is that like a VIX product? BTC looks good. MSTR looks good. MSTR earnings today after the bell. We got Curve looks good. Sol, Sui, ETH waking up. Ripple just still in a range. Meme coins waking up-ish. It's nice to see us break out of the 95K level. Sorry, the preview is always throwing me off. You guys can see me, right? Yeah, I think so. Anyway, so for BTC, the issue here is, you know, from a cloud perspective, it almost happened a little too fast. You didn't get this smooth like curve to get you in. You didn't get a tiny cloud and a clear breakout and a clear Kumo twist. You didn't really get any of that on the daily. All this happened very, very fast, and we're still holding above the cloud. So it's not bad. It's good. I think it just caught a lot of people off sides that we moved as fast as we did when we did. We're still waiting on the cloud to catch up. It wouldn't surprise me to like break out to some stupid number and then retrace. Stupid number is in like 104 and then retrace mid 90s. This is like a May-June conversation. But the risk to break down, I talked about it yesterday and the day before. The risk was this head and shoulders stuff that is trying to cancel itself out. We'll see, but it's clearly not bearish, right? And we clearly have people coming in shorting this more and more and more, which is what we want to see. If funding was at infinity right now, I'd be much more bearish and say, yeah, we need to pull back. This just isn't sustainable, but that's not the case. We're seeing shorts getting added the higher we go. So it might not be pretty, but it looks good. The risk here is that you're long too much too soon, and it either goes sideways for an extended period of time or it pulls back first. It just doesn't look like it wants to go down, and I said that I don't know, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, whatever day it was. So BTC looks good. It still looks really good. High time frames look good. Cloud looks good. I got nothing really to say or add because we're doing things we need to be doing to maintain bullishness in a vacuum, let alone on a relative basis. Still looks very, very good. So where could this go if we just take the top, take the bottom, the fibs? The 1618 is at 130. If this is a falling wedge or a breakout consolidation, whatever, it doesn't really matter what you call it. It measures the same on fibs. That would be the next level I would watch if and when we break all-time highs again. 110 is going to be big, but just psychologically getting people back in the market at this level now, I think is going to be easier than it was in November because we hadn't had the pullback in November. When we sit at these levels for a long time, I think psychologically people think, okay, I'm just going to wait for the pullback, right? Whether or not they actually buy, I don't know. That doesn't really matter. But the point now is we've had the pullback, we've had the drawdown, 20, 30%, whatever it ended up being, and we're back at this level again. So that's very encouraging for bullish continuation. Absolutely. 333K by July, bro. We're well on our way. Yeah, as Zelva's talking about on Twitter, the gold pullback is interesting. We can look at PAXG, I guess. It's good to see that because we rarely move together with gold. Gold pulling back on a relative basis pretty hard over the past week. And that's what the tough part about analyzing this stuff and like saying something is going to happen is people just like, say, okay, whatever, they don't believe it. But when you live through enough of these events and you say, okay, yes, BTC follows gold. That's what we've seen. The past is not the future necessarily always, but that's the pattern. So far, we're following the pattern. BTC is moving up. After gold is breaking down. Gold is slowing down. Great. So to me, this is just happening as you'd expect it to happen relative to liquidity and gold and whatever else is going on, dollar going down. You can pick any one of the 5 things that everybody's talking about right now. This is what you'd expect. So why people are shorting this, I don't know, but God bless them. Please keep doing it because we keep going higher. This certainly feels like it's spot buying. I suspect Saylor will announce some sort of new ATM today because his previous ATM has essentially been emptied in that I think at this point has spent 21 billion, right? In the ATM. Somebody can let me know. 21 billion, 21 million. It's gotta be 21 billion, right? So if he announces that, that's going to help move prices. We've got all sorts of companies talking about buying BTC now. We've got all sorts of companies talking about buying Solana now. Solana looks excellent to 195. Whether it comes down to 135 first, I don't know, but the target is 195. Anything after that is bonus. Right here today, because people ask me this. They ask me this. Let's say if we hit 205 tomorrow, people ask me, okay, what next? I don't know. I don't have a forecast past that level. That level is a 50% retracement of the down move. So for things like SWE, what's next here? I have no idea. It already hit the level. It already hit the 50%. It looks okay up here. And this is less about the ticker. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the ticker is. Call it whatever you want. There's still a head and shoulders risk here. So that's something to think about. Do you say like, this is the consolidation? That's the extension. Is that a trade that makes sense right now relative to everything else? I think there are better trades outside of SWE right now, just because the move that SWE had is what, you'd expect the moves to happen going forward for things like Solana. So it's up to the individual. You know, I don't know what to say. There's no wrong answer necessarily here. Does it still look bullish? Sure, but is the setup the same as it is on Solana? No, the setup happened, right? And you could say the same for BTC. Like, you could make a case for rotating out of BTC and SWI and rotating into stuff that hasn't moved yet, like Solana. And you could go down this list. AVAX is another one. It has nothing to do, I repeat, nothing to do with the chain, nothing to do with the protocol, nothing to do with applications on the chain, nothing. It has nothing to do with any of that, and that's important. So you don't become a community member. We're just talking about technicals and trading. Setting up, AVAX setting up just like Solana. You had FET and Render setting up. If we're picking stages of the breakout, this is past Solana now. Still looks good. You know, this or SWI. Long term, don't know, don't care. Near term, this. This has not completed its breakout yet. Curve, we can add to that conversation. It's longer in the breakout. It's made its way through the cloud. It's just late, right? Would you buy this here right now for a near-term trade within the next couple weeks? I wouldn't. It's late. You're just late. The trade happened, right? This is why you just got to take the trade when it triggers and assume it's going to work out. Use trailing stop losses. You're not trying to predict the future. You're just saying, okay, this is what happens historically when XYZ happens. Fine. That's where I'm at with Sol. Sol's got to be some of your best bang for your buck right now. Doge in that conversation, I think it's a little early. Same deal. Like, this is just vanilla mean reversion type stuff. Earnings reactions for MSTR are rarely good. I agree with you, Joey. You know, if he announces another ATM, from memory, I don't think that's bullish for MSTR. It's bullish for BTC. I don't think it's bullish for MSTR. Zelva likes $500 Sol in this year. I have no idea. Again, I have nothing past 205 right now. 195, 205. That's the target. If we look back at Sol, I guess you can't really see it. Let me pull up more data on Sol. I was thinking about this when somebody was asking me about these edge-to-edge trades. If you remember Sol's weekly, you have to go to like, nope, Binance? Who had more data? There we go. So Sol's weekly is kind of similar to where like SWI and BTC were. They hit or exceeded their targets super quickly. And then, you know, Sol just sat here. Sol is effectively the same price it was in March 2024. So that's the cautionary tale of sitting in something that's already moved like this and not rotating. Like, it's fine. You can do that. But if you're trying to min-max trades, I'm not like encouraging people to sell BTC and buy some shitcoin, but if you're looking for trades, SWI, right, it already happened. BTC already happened. I think you're going to see some more explosive percentages elsewhere right now. And we can look at BTC on a weekly too. That also in 2024. Yeah. So we had this weekly edge to edge, and then it just sat there at that level for weeks, right? It wasn't a super long time, but it was a long time. In crypto years, you know, crypto years, that was 7 years in crypto years. So I do think there's some trades and some rotations to do here. You still want BTC to be bullish. You don't want BTC bearish, but from setups and opportunities, there's some things to look at and to consider. Link is in that conversation too. Again, it's not, this is the difficult part because everyone has their pet project that they love. Again, nothing to do with the ticker, zero to do with the ticker, nothing. It's all about how this looks based on the technicals. So you could tell me anything you want fundamentally about Link and oracles, and RWA, right? It doesn't matter. I don't care. It really doesn't matter. What matters here is how this looks relative to technicals. Sell in May and walk away, bear coming. I don't know about that. It's a risk. No, it's a risk that all this is setting up and doesn't go anywhere, right? But to me, does this look better here than it did at any point in the past 4 months? Absolutely. Remember, previously we were dealing with this, right? This breakdown took months to happen. The recovery could also take months to happen. But it occurred in the setting of everything being bearish, including legacy. So that helped push crypto down. You had the unlocks from FTX. You had all this stuff going on for Solana specifically, but I like it here better than at any point. At any point, multi-month consolidation. It's the same reason I liked Curve. Like, I don't know anything about Curve, really. Do I really care? No, I'm just looking at technicals. You know, the last time I called out a trade on Curve was back here. And people are like, why are you still trading? Imagine trading DeFi in 2025. Okay, like, it doesn't matter. That's not the point. That's not the point. The point is, this thing was down only for years and then had a decent setup, right? The rest is history. The market did market things. So what do I like here currently is these mean reversion setups to their targets and no further. And then you rotate it into something else. Maybe you rotate 80% instead of all of it, and you hold like a bag of whatever, because this stuff could keep going. I don't know. But you got to be careful of this toppy stuff. It makes me nervous. Seeing this, trying to Adam and Eve, trying to triple top, little worrying. Doesn't mean it has to go down. It's just, what I want to sit in this move 100% of the account after it looks like this, and not me. I don't care about your ticker, says Groucho. I agree. I don't. I just don't. Now, you need fundamental reasons to buy something, sure, but why is Fartcoin doing what Fartcoin has done? I have no idea. It doesn't matter, right? Again, like, there's a time and a place to talk about fundamentals and why Bitcoin versus something else. But what are the fundamentals for this? There aren't any. People are trading it. That's it. That's all I got. Anyway, let me catch up with chat. All good, no complaints. Sell them and go away. No, I would use seasonality as a guide, but to say like pre-breakout on something that looks like this, I don't care what it is, whatever the chart is, to say that you should sell this here based on this chart, look, that may be correct. I have no idea, but this looks pre-breakout to me and ready to go within the next couple weeks. Still using cloud from 2013. Yeah, I cycled through a lot of stuff, tried to make sense of most of it, and what I kept coming back to was the cloud, because it just made more sense than anything else. MOG BTC edge to edge. I don't know if there's a MOG BTC pair on Kraken, but the USD chart, again, it does not matter what the pair is. It doesn't matter at all to me. You know, it might matter to you. It doesn't matter to me, but absolutely, this is edge to edge stuff all day long. Now, is this going to play out? I don't know. Is it going to underperform Solana? I have no idea. But I like it. I like it. Head and shoulders at the top, down for months, inverted head and shoulders at the bottom. Looks good to me. Looks good enough to me. Yeah, Curve, I don't have the BTC pair, but Curve USD, similar. He spent 21 billion, there's 128 million left. Yeah, I'm assuming he's probably spending or spent the rest of it, the rest of the ATM. So he's going to have to announce something to keep buying, right? dark horse beam. Nothing is a dark horse. Again, if it looks good, yeah, sure, right? Now, we talked about this Sunday where you can put all these in a spreadsheet and say, based on this market cap or this percentage move or this blah, 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 I like this one over that one. That's more of a like personal decision process conversation. Does this look good? Yeah, it looks great. I like that it's been flat for 2-3 months. I like that it was down prior to that for months. Yeah, I like it. Is it going to outperform anything on this list? I have no idea, right? I don't know. This is like a personal decision. If you like this chart versus another, Adam and Eve here, whatever. It looks really good. It looks really good. Yeah, there's some like MSTR FASB stuff. I don't know, whatever. I'll just see how it falls out. For whatever reason, MSTR has been outperforming literally everything, including gold, since the beginning of the year. Doesn't really make any sense, but here we are. I agree with you, Joey. It doesn't make sense. Why is it bullish for a stock when they're saying they're going to sell more stock to buy more BTC? This is the planet we live in. I agree with you 100%. This is where we're at. Zelva, this might be the best summer in Bitcoin crypto history. I don't think that's, I'm very pro alt here. I don't think it's quite going to be alt season, but the setups look really good. The narrative is there. Prices are moving. We don't have the central bank on our side. We don't have ZERP. We don't have stimmies. It's going to be hard to beat COVID ever until you get back to that where you're getting tons of free money. So it's an argument against best ever. Talk bearish? What is there to be bearish about? We were talking bearish stuff up here at 94 or 96 last time we were here because we were in the cloud. Now we survived, right? We survived the extinction event. Here we are. I don't know what's bull trappy about this. It just doesn't look like it wants to go down. Have I added to the initial MSTU? I have not added to the initial MSTU. Can you show us, mainly because it hasn't gone down. Just hasn't gone down. AVAX looks good. Yeah, AVAX does look good. Am I trading FART? No, I'm not trading FART coin. Just out of principle. I'm just not going to touch it. Trump, similar. It's on the list, but I don't touch it. Trump here looks like head and shoulders all day to me, if that's worth anything. Accretive dilution. Yeah. What do I think of WBA, like WNBA, or is this a ticker? I don't know what that is. What else is on this list that we can talk about? I haven't really talked about ETH. Maybe that's a sign. I think ETH, if we've got coins moving next week, I think ETH moves week after next. It's probably not going to go down if everything else is going up, but it doesn't look as far along as this other stuff. If we look at, if we put these in like a tier list, right? You've got BTC, SWI, Sol almost there. ETH certainly not close relative to Sol. MOG almost there. Pepe looks great. Pepe's there. AVAX almost there. ENA looks worse than ETH even here to me. So if we're talking about ultra short term expectations coming up, just based on charts, it's got to be Sol, Pepe, AVAX, MOG, ETH, ENA lagging by a lot. ENA is interesting. I think that one certainly needs funding to be positive. It makes more money as a protocol when funding is positive. And if funding is negative here, it makes sense that price is doing what it's doing. But clear setup, clear breakout conditions to watch, just not quite there yet. Is TIO the worst token? I don't think TIO is the worst token. I think Zcash is the worst token of all time, but we can look at TIA. TIA hasn't really done anything down here. It's just sitting down here. It keeps going down. It's making lower lows. It's not holding those lows. If into Q4 you get some sort of rounded bottom, then that makes a lot more sense to me. But when you're given these huge layups like Sol on the daily, AVAX, just from a setup perspective, it does not make sense to me to sit in TIA or ETH. It just doesn't make sense. You have setups on Link that look better. Render, FET, Aave, even Aave looks better than TIA. Dot, not quite there, but looks better than TIA. So there's just better stuff. Algo looks ready in the next couple days from an entry perspective. STX also looks great. So I wouldn't think I wouldn't think like, oh, TIA has to follow blah blah blah. It just, why even go that route when you have much better opportunities? I think even Rune, that's the trigger today. Am I going to trade this? No. Should anybody trade it? Probably not. But if we're on a deserted island and we know nothing about the fundamentals, this is an entry for Rune. There is always a daily close inside the cloud. So there for Rune would be today. Daily close inside the cloud, bullish TK cross. That's all I'm looking for. That's entry conditions. To sweeten the pot, if you get some sort of horizontal break, even better. Cycle profitable so far, thanks to the cloud. That's what I like to hear. See, where people get messed up is someone's talking about going balls deep, Solana. They expect a quick move or they don't expect any down move first. I think that's incorrect. You have to give yourself a wide berth. To me, this is a high confidence entry setup, the highest confidence in a long time for Solana. When was the last time we talked about a Solana long? I think it was honestly back here. It had a similar, you had your Adam and Eve, and then you had like IHS stuff. You had a cloud breakout, and then everything moved October, November, post-election. But I think that was the last time the longs looked good, because up here you had a head and shoulders, up here you had a head and shoulders. So from a just purely technical, it had the Trump coin launch move, fine. But to me, this is the best technical setup on Solana since 2024 October to the long side. So it's up to you. What you do. Cycle profitable so far thanks to pattern recognition. Yeah, pattern recognition's good. Love patterns. They happen pretty frequently. Ohm? Oh, man. No. This is the one that, I forget the exact issue it had, right? This is Mantra. No. Again, like you're given this stuff on a silver platter from a setups perspective, at least stuff that I care about in my trading. It's got to look pretty darn good relative to this for me to care about it. And so Ohm would be an example of something that it just isn't for me. Like if you want to catch a falling knife, Rune is a good example, because Rune has been flat since January, and it has the problems that it has fundamentally. That's how long, if I'm like super careful and waiting, this is what you want to see for sellers to be exhausted or whatever. I do not like that Ohm chart at all. Anyway, what else we got alts wise? We talked about algo, Cardano, Ripple, Cardano. I don't really think there's anything there for me just yet. Ripple just hanging out below the cloud there. Cardano, same deal. Doesn't mean they can't do well. It's just I think again better opportunities elsewhere. Tau is just a bit late as far as targets or entries set up. Just a bit late. LTC doesn't look terrible. I think Sol looks better. Ondo is just kind of a ranging mess. I got nothing for you there. We talked about all these others. Helium, kind of just a mess. It's late as far as an entry is concerned, but it has met the conditions. It's just not as clean of a setup as some of this other stuff right now. 3 separate people asking me about Toshi. Are they paid actors, chat? I think they're paid actors. Doesn't look horrible, I'll give you that. It has some sort of bottomy vibe, right? Like inverted head and shoulders or something. It's trying to bottom. I don't know. To me, to go deep down the market cap list doesn't matter what it is. Just doesn't make sense to me unless I'm trading like household meme names like Mog or Bonk. I don't know. Like even Whiff, I think looked pretty decent. Yeah. Whiff on the daily looks good. Doge we talked about looks good. Popcat, you're a bit late, but it looks fine. Shib, probably not something I'd trade right now. Bonk a bit late. So I don't know. There's options out there higher up on the market cap list that'll give you crazy beta, crazy effective leverage relative to BTC, relative to whatever else. Filecoin. It's in the conversation. I think it needs a little bit more time, but it's in the conversation. Similar setup there. What the hell's EGLD? The difficulty, again, it's like most of these tickers that people are asking about, I'm guessing they've been holding since November, right? So from the long side, trading, you want to dump this stuff before the drawdown, clearly, and then catch it on the way up for the mean reversion. EGLD, sure, in the conversation, looks okay. Looks okay. XMR was up on somebody trying to exit stolen. So somebody stole 300 million in BTC. They were trying to exit the market via Monero. That's why this happened. I don't think there's any other reason specifically. What tickers would you look for? As which ticker would you have on your radar? I mean, the tickers I care about you're looking at, it's like top 30, top 20. I don't go deeper than that. I would separate them out into sectors. A different way to do this would be to separate them out based on blockchain. So like if you care about BTC, Solana, ETH, then you just separate that out by sector. BTC beta would be Caspa and STX. ETH beta would be the ERC20 tokens and DeFi. Sol beta would be, related meme coins on Sol or DEX tokens like Ray, whatever, right? That would be another way to separate this out. You're going to see the wealth effect pretty clearly if you do that, because as Solana is moving more than ETH or whatever else, the associated tokens should be moving more than Solana. Patrick, I mean, look it up. Go to ZachXBT's Twitter and read. I don't know what else to say. Like, that's my understanding of what happened there. Yeah, we talked about AVAX. It looks good, setup wise. Looks good. You got a W. You got an edge-to-edge setting up here. Looks good. I like it here. I like it lower. I like it over the next month. You got to give this stuff a little bit of time to break out. I think curve is a really good benchmark for the duration. This broke out in, what is that, April 10th, and we're now into May, and it's about 75% of the way through. That's a good little reminder of time, how long this stuff could take. It's rare to see it. BTC literally did it in one candle, right? One day, it completed the move. You don't see that too often. Flare, FLR. Yeah, it's in the cloud. The trouble with this stuff is if nobody has heard of this coin token, I forget what this is. The further down on the market cap list, the less likely it is to break out initially. Like, it'll get rotated into. It's just, again, like page 56 versus top 20 is a different story. If you're getting these setups on top 20, I think you take them, not financial advice. The token I was trying to remember last week was T0. I don't know if it actually has a token, but we were talking about ZRO. This one triggered and has gone nowhere so far. And this is the risk of these lower market cap tokens, where they look like they will have a setup, and maybe they eventually break out, maybe they don't. But am I ultra confident? Like, would I go deeper into this versus Solana? Me personally, no. I think it's fine to speculate and stuff like this, or Beam, or whatever else. But the market will know when Solana is moving above 155. The market may not care what ZRO is doing, or whatever the last ticker I was looking at, FLR. Someone was asking about Prime. Prime. Big candle today. It kind of looks like ETH, right? Where it, I guess it looks better than ETH. The trades that I want to take are not bottom tick to top tick. It's this 80% in the middle. So for me, my preference would be to wait on this until mid-May and see where it's at. I would have higher confidence in this moving. It's done well today, obviously, but this would be the trade from from 3 to 10. Now, I don't know if that's possible, but that's the trade I don't want to miss. Whatever happens down here, I don't really care about. Now, obviously, if this just shoots straight to 10, I'm SOL. Shit out of luck, and it's just too late, right? I don't get the trade. It is what it is, but I think this needs a little bit more time to consolidate. Hype, yeah, somebody did ask. I think that's on Kraken. There's a futures, Hype futures. Looks okay. Is it trading like Fartcoin? Kind of looks like it is. I don't know how to get values instead of percentages on the axis there, but it looks okay. But this is where the trading part comes in. Which of these do you like better than others? Which of these do you take a higher size in versus others? Do you just flat out ignore? Like me, I just ignore anything past top 50 market cap, basically. I don't know. It's up to you. But yeah, this looks good. You bought Prime at 16? Was that the one at 3? Yeah. 16? Is such a thing even possible? 16. Yeah. Yeah. Not great. Let's go back to log. not great. So 10 would be the mean reversion, the 50% of this breakdown at some point, right? That's why that's lighting up there on the cloud. See, if we're talking about airdrops or some other fundamental stuff, it just doesn't matter. Like, it might matter why this is breaking out today in a big way. Like, I get that part. But if we're looking for technical setups, yeah, it's above the 6 hour for the first time in a long time. Sure. Is ETH even above its own 6 hour? Barely. Barely. Solana certainly is. So, it just depends. What do you want? How much volatility do you really want? That's what you need to ask yourself. The further you go down the market table, exponentially you're cranking up the leverage and volatility. Most people aren't aware of that and they don't care. They just want 100x gain tomorrow, and they're just eating crazy amounts of volatility. Maker. Maker on the daily. Yeah, it doesn't look terrible. I don't know. Is it a today trade for me? No, it's not. It looks okay. I don't have anything. It's not screaming at me. Even Uni, if we go to like Uni on the daily, is another one. I think having a DeFi list as a like pre-ideas rotation would be a good thing, because a lot of these are lagging. If this is in fact the bottom, and we see Solana back to 200, and we see everything else moving, and ETH is lagging, things to rotate into like Uni or ETH or I don't know what other ETH token, right? Like, that's a decent plan to think about. What's up, Prem? Yeah, we can go to Legacy. Let's talk about, is MSTR like the #1 ticker that anybody cares about? I think so. Here we go. I already had it up. Already had it up. So Joey's right, and I think the data supports this. The earnings have not been bullish because he's typically announcing selling more stock to buy BTC or some debt raise or something, right? But based on technicals, sorry, we look really good. We've outperformed everything in the year, including gold on MSTR. Is it a buy here is the question. I think it's a tough buy, even the way it looks on the cloud, just because it's kind of straight up for how many days? Like the entire month of April, it almost went straight up. I think at some point you may get a slightly better entry here. But this is why, it's kind of like the Solana idea where this is effectively Solana 200. Do you want to buy Solana at 200? I don't know. I think it's going to take some time to consolidate. That's why I like Solana at 150. That's why I liked MSTR at 300. So it's tough. Like, yes, it's bullish. Is it an entry today? I don't think so. Is it an add today? I also don't think so. But at the same time, I think this is going higher. So it's just like personal preference. Do you DCA this? Do you watch it on a lower time frame? The 4 hour looks excellent as well. You're probably hoping for 350 as an entry. I don't know. So I don't really have anything amazing to say right now about the chart. That's why it's tough. It's tough. That's why that MSTX, MSTU. So I took a trade on this. What day was it? April 25th, something like that. In a vacuum, that's an excellent entry. In reality, it's probably going to be a disaster because if MSTR pulls back to 350, this is probably pulling back to like 7. I don't know. Then you'd be slightly underwater, but the setup looks pretty clean. You've got the W back here. Your target's 12, 17, somewhere in there. I don't know. That's an idea. Something to do. What's up, Tommy? Never thought he'd catch me live. Well, here I am. In the flesh. Ma, get the camera. He's looking at our shit coins. So that's MSTR, that's MSTU, MSTX. Same deal. Same idea. It's the same trade, the same setup, the same entry, the same stop loss, the same target. It's all the same. Will it happen in reality? I have no idea. But this is Solana at 160, right? That's basically what this is. This is kind of Pepe right now. If we add that to the chart, Kraken, we take off that. Percentage-wise, they've kind of traded very similar. Meme coins and leveraged MSTR, which makes sense because MSTR and Solana have traded similar. So effectively, both are 4x BTC. So that's MSTR. MSTX coin is another one people ask me about. We'll talk about coin, hood. Coin looks good. What about total 2 relative? Total 2. So yeah, it's following. If you're bullish total 2, you'll love coin. Got a little bit of a inverted head and shoulders there. It looks okay. It's just, again, what is your personal preference? What is your sizing relative to anything else? What do you feel most confident in? I talked about ADA. Shub, it's just not for me. I think there's better trades relatively elsewhere. What's my schedule? Usually 2 p.m. EST for the streams. Thursdays. There's a pattern here-ish. Do I like this over MSTR today? Probably. And that's kind of like the ETH BTC conversation. Realistically, it's the Sol BTC conversation because I think this chart is also setting up for something extremely bullish. You have this messy bottom that's taken months. I'm going to call it an IHS. And this is your Sol justification over BTC. So I don't know. It's just personal preference. There's plenty of options here. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Yeah, Cardano and H-bar kind of look similar from memory. I guess H-bar, at least with H-bar, there's justification here. Cloud justification. Plus you've got edge-to-edge stuff, right? Or sorry, pattern. You have an Adam and Eve down here. You have an inverted head and shoulders here. The target is right there for you on the chart. The level's 26, 27, somewhere around there. Cardano is just kind of free floating. Oh, sorry, that was the wrong cloud. Whatever, close enough. Cardano is just free floating. So to me, that would be the last one to do anything with here. Ripple, same deal. Low time frames, you could argue something maybe, but I just, like, if you have to think about it, why? You've got plenty of options staring at you in the face, screaming at you. Screaming. Believe it or not, haven't discussed Grinder yet, but we can. VKTX. Viking Therapeutics. Switch to the legacy cloud. We talked about something back there. Uh, it's setting up like alts are. It's setting up with a cloud move. I'm always most confident when it breaks into the cloud. Doesn't mean you can't start accumulating early. It's just, again, this is very personal, very up to the individual. What do you like doing when stuff looks like this? Do you like buying? Do you like nibbling? Do you like dollar cost averaging? Do you like doubling your position when we break into the cloud? I don't know. But yeah, it looks okay. It looks better here than it did at any point in the past 6 months. Absolutely. Yeah, Rivian, if we go to do an EV, bang out some EVs real quick. Tesla's setting up like alts too. This is the AVAX chart, right? W, little handle here on a cup or something. I'm not trading Tesla, so it's not for me, but there is justification for a long here to 350 at some point. Rivian is above the daily cloud, but that's basically meaningless because it's been above the daily cloud several times and gone nowhere. I like watching this on the 3-day because it's never, ever been above the 3-day cloud. So currently that's 16. This goes back to the conversation. What do you do here? You think it's going higher. You think it looks good. You think there's a setup. Do you go full account plus leverage, plus call your mom, tell her to go, plus call your uncle? Hey, what about Rivian? No, I don't think you do that right here. I think if you like it, you nibble. You're slow. You're methodical, tactical. Weekly, you're just checking it. Maybe you buy some, but you save a chunk of whatever once the breakout happens. So this looks good, and in the face of tariffs and whatever else is going on, is a bit surprising. But yeah, and one reason to like this is because if this actually breaks out, the risk reward here is pretty high, right? Your risk is a stop loss at like 10. Your fib extensions are like 60 to 90. Who knows if that actually ever happens, but the setup is there. So I still like it. No problem, Shub. Do you ever take trades when things are already up a lot and continue to grind? So Costco was one we've talked about several times. The last trade I took on Costco was right back here. So I started buying back here. I don't hold it anymore. I can't remember. At some point, I sold somewhere up here. I don't remember where. I'd have to double check where. But even like with gold, like I wouldn't touch gold until you get the bullish TK recross price above cloud. That's all I want to see. So we had that plus a pattern on Costco back here. I don't hate this here. The problem is, like, this is probably going to split soon, I assume, right? It's at 1,000. The issue, if we care about fundamentals at all, is the valuation and the fact that it's already 2x in like 2 years, right? But you're right, there are a lot of charts that look like this, Palantir being another one, where the cloud is telling you this is almost an entry or an entry, depending on your comfortability. You have a bullish breakout on the cloud. You don't have a bullish TK cross. You don't have a bullish Kumo breakout. Okay, fine. This could morph into this thing, head and shoulders, right? You could still get that. But it looks good. Palantir is a little further along, not Planet Fitness, although it looks oddly similar. PLTR. Look at Palantir. It was up whatever 300% in 24, and it's ready for more. They have earnings next week. So it's really just like a sizing conversation. Would I go full account on a chart that looks like this? No. Is it worth a position? Maybe. Maybe. So I don't hate the idea. It's just, it's a sizing conversation. WNBA. Walgreens? Walgreens. Well, you've got this parabolic. Clearly, we talked about this at some point, but you got this parabolic move to the downside. It flattened out. I don't know. Just it kind of looks dead to me. Like, sure, is it better at 10 than 100? Yeah. What's your target? What's your justification? I don't know. I don't really have anything specifically. I guess you're hoping for a 2x here. It looks okay. It just doesn't really have any momentum, you know? I don't think selling Palantir is a bad idea. I'm just saying, like, if you're looking for setups today and you have nothing. Silver. Yeah, we can pull up. Let me just finish this. Finish the EV list real quick. No, XP, no. Still consolidating. Yeah, everything looks pretty junky. All right, metals. Gold weekly looks toppy. Talked about it Sunday. When you see candles, it's basically an inverted dragonfly. Doesn't look bullish. It's after a parabolic move, multi-year consolidation. Can we see highs again? Sure. Not tomorrow. Like, this stuff's got to calm down. It's like asking BTC at 20K in 2018 to keep going. It needs some time. So it's good for BTC. Weekly, toppy, daily, just, you know, needs consolidation. The next time I would want to touch gold would be the same thing, like I was saying with Costco. It looked good there. It looked good there. Yeah, it's going to take probably into Q3 or 4. Like, it's going to take a lot of time for me to care about gold again. Thanks, Atsio. Good to see you, Otter. So that's gold. Sorry, silver. Do a few more and then get out of here. Silver, I got nothing. Looks like chop. So I think somebody else asked me about this. It just kind of looks like up chop. I got nothing. At least with, this is platinum and palladium. At least with this one, you have a defined level, at least that I would care about, 10-ish. It's nothing here. It's just chop range garbage, but no, not for me. Not for me. Hood, yeah, Hood was another one probably in the Palantir conversation. It's trying to break out again. It's trying. I think you'll get a better setup deeper into May. Like if alts actually run in May, Hood probably will, because it's got, you know, crypto trading revenue connection to it. The same thing with coin. I just don't have like TA justification here. Why it would do anything right now. Yeah, HBAR looks good. Degen speculator. It looks like a lot of the alts do with mean reversion stuff. Arrow. Arrow. Yeah, you got your trigger. This is another tough one because you had an Adam and Eve here, not in the cloud yet. It's already up here. Where's your exit? Where's your target? It looks good. It's just like, is it an entry today? I think you're a bit late if it's today, but if you've been holding since sub 50 cents, yeah, looks fine. I don't think it's an entry right now. What percentage? A month? Some months I make nothing. Most months I probably make nothing. It's the months where you know, just look at the BTC chart, right? You have to live through the nothing long enough so that you're there for the months where it just goes bananas. And if you're investing, then we're talking like weeks and years time frame conversation. You had to eat 2019 and 2020 to live through 2021. You had to eat 2022 and be here and, you know, be aware of what's going on from 23 to now. So that's, I don't know, that depends on what you're trading and what the environment is, really. It's hard to say. I don't have like a spreadsheet of personal monthly performance. Not for my personal stuff anyway. Mikael. Yeah, algo looks good. What else we got? PANW. Palo Alto Networks. Super choppy. Super choppy. It's just kind of up chop. I don't know. I don't have a great read. It's like Netflix where it just like keeps going up, right? It just goes up forever. Netflix has no top. Here's another one that, you know, tried to break down, kept going. Here we are. Just keeps going. Just keeps going. Doesn't care about tariffs. Just keeps going. See, as I'm saying, I'm in disbelief. Like some of these charts we looked at today were like here, where I'm like, I don't know, and we need more evidence. And here's Netflix just literally 6, 7, 9 days in a row, straight up. What's up, Omen? How are those TLT calls looking, buddy? TLT looks horrific. TLT looks awful. Would not touch that at all. Thursdays at 2 p.m. That's when I go live. Yeah, you can trade cloud on the 4 hour. It's just a sizing conversation. You're going to get a lot of noise. You're going to get a lot of fake outs. You're going to get a lot of terrible trades. But it can be done. If you're time frame agnostic, what did we talk about? What was that one? Was it Prime? Like Prime on the 6 hour, right? It's less important that the time frame is telling you it's a breakout. It's more important to me that the time frame has correctly identified the bearishness for months. Like at no point since the breakdown did it tell you that this was an entry. So we're talking about months of down, and today it's saying looks good. No problem, Matthew. Yeah, I talked about HBAR. Again, it's like if you can identify what the cloud stuff looks like, the ticker, who cares? This looks like every other chart that we've looked at where the entries are within the next couple days. Tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, stop losses, key June, new lows, cloud. That's it. Target is other edge of the cloud, fib extensions. Same thing. So yeah, looks good. It's about not losing. That's right. It's not really about not losing. It's just about losing less than you're winning. that's what it's about. I trade everything on the daily, so I wouldn't. I wouldn't take signals as seriously on anything less than the daily. I think we're gonna call it there. GME, sure, for the lulls. Chop nothing. I don't know. See, for me, when I don't see anything on the daily, I go up the time frames, whereas other people would want to go down. I'm not looking to take a trade. I'm looking for signals that make sense to me. So I don't see anything on GME. No idea. All right, two more that we're out here. STZ, Constellation Brands. It looks okay. It looks okay. It's trying to bottom. Is it a slam dunk setup? I don't know. I don't think so. But it looks okay. It's trying to bottom, right? It's trying to pattern out. Something's trying to happen here. Last one, AI 16. Let's see. Where is this the best ticker? So the 8-hour called this at 16 cents. What did the daily say? Yeah, that's a daily edge to edge trigger. Oh, sorry, wrong cloud. Almost there. So that's why when stuff looks like this, I would want this to come down to like 20 cents. From 30 to 20 cents is where I would like bids. You know, if I was ladder trading on Kraken, what I would do if I looked at this and said, okay, I like this, I would put bids like all the way down there, like that, and just wait. And if I miss it, I miss it, fine. If you want to make sure you don't miss it, maybe you buy a little bit. But as this is consolidating into the cloud, that's what I would do. All right, that's all I got for this one. If you're watching the recording, I appreciate it. Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want me to look at. That's all for this one.